What is up, Waffle Gang? I do hope you are well. My name is Mark, and today we're checking out some more r/am I the butthole. If you'd like to skip the initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and along the timeline below. Cheeky. But if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too. Yesterday we had a couple of new members on the channel. We had Theo B Logical join us, we had Hannah Eliza with a rejoin, and we had Nerd Queen, one of our most long-standing members, upgrade. Thank you so much for your support, and you know, it's just crazy, isn't it really? Thank you very much, and just everyone for taking the times out of your day to be here, getting involved with the channel, clicking that like button, and you know, I can never ever not stop saying thank you for what you do for me. And with that being said, let's crack on with today's stories. Much love, guys. And our first story comes from California. Am I the arsehole for taking my boys on a picnic after my sister lied about her child-free wedding? I, 32, married Paul, 39, 14 months ago. I have two stepsons that I adore so much. They're 7 and 11. My family are fine with Paul but aren't involved with the kids much, although they treat them well, but they don't show affection or love. I've stopped attending family gatherings because I've been told to not bring the boys with me, which is unacceptable to me and very disrespectful. My family try to look for excuses to justify their behaviour of trying to leave my boys out of family functions, but last month they invited us all to dinner and it went fine. Paul was shocked but happy that my family finally worked out the issue and slowly started including the boys. Last week was my sister's wedding. She sent me an invitation before, then told me they're having a small celebration with no kids, a child-free type of celebration. Once my brother confirmed he was coming with his wife and leaving the kids home, I thought that I could go since the no kids rule was for the entire family. That is, until my cousin called me the night before the wedding. She's a relative, she doesn't know exactly what's going on with my family, and she's been good to Paul and the boys. She started talking about the wedding and said that she'd be bringing her kids. I was confused. I asked about the no kids rule, and she said that everyone was allowed to bring kids. I checked with my brother's wife, and she said she was allowed to bring kids and had no idea why I asked. I confronted my sister. She said she lied so I won't bring the boys, and it was my mum's idea, and I couldn't think of a better idea because they didn't want my boys there. I yelled at them both and told them that I'm not coming if my boys aren't. The day of the wedding, we packed our bags and went on a picnic since the weather was nicer and warmer. The boys had a great time, and Paul as well. In the evening, I got a ton of calls and nasty texts from my mum and my dad and brother for not coming to support my sister, and that I made a joke out of them and guests were looking for me and I let them and my sister down as her older sister. My sister was upset that I missed her wedding and called me awful for being inconsiderate of her feelings. To add, the boys are well behaved. Our oldest is incredibly responsible and helpful. Our youngest has already bonded with my cousin's son, who's 9. I've talked to Paul and he said it's up to me whether I still want to be in contact with my family, but he won't be letting the boys be treated like this anymore. I understand how he felt. I felt terrible too. Yes, my family aren't supportive of me having stepkids and said that I was quick to make a decision because of Paul, but it's not true. Like I said, I just couldn't imagine what Paul would have felt seeing others bringing their kids except for us. Now, firstly, we have to say, well done, mum, in this situation for standing up for your children against what must be a tough situation to stand up to against your own family. You know, it's very easy for us on Reddit when we read these stories and we say, oh, fuck family, get rid of them. But, you know, the majority of the time, it's just not that simple. And I know many people will go, oh, yes, it is. I can just cut my family out like that. But I think I would still have conflicts in my brain about the situation. I'm not saying it's wrong for OP to stick up for her children or anything like that, because she's absolutely done the right thing, and there is strong signs to actually consider going no contact with her family, and you know, I think I would be considering it too. But I just don't want to downplay the feelings that it must bring up going against your own family like that. And I sort of do wonder if it's going to play a part in between sort of OP and Paul here, whether eventually it's going to cause a rift between them, because you know, Paul is happy at the moment, but surely there's got to be some feelings of like that whole family is treating my children like shit and she still wants to go see them. It must play some part in there as well, those niggling feelings in the background, you know. And I might be wrong there, I'm just throwing stuff out there like I usually do, but 100% not the arsehole in this situation. Let's check out some of the comments. And we had Pudge the Fish saying, not the arsehole, I'm proud of you for putting your children first. You get the Stepmom of the Year award from me. And Clonk says, not the arsehole, your children don't have to come out of you to be your children. It doesn't matter if they are adopted, step, or by blood. Your family decided to exclude them and then lied to you about excluding them. Enabling them would massively hurt your children in the long term, so you absolutely did the right thing. You'd have to endure your family harassing you though, because we'll probably never accept the consequences of their actions and blame you for sticking to your children. And Dream Play says, not the arsehole at all. The fact that she lied to you about this tells you all you need to know. She didn't have the guts to stand up for her awful treatment of your family, so instead she lied to try and avoid having to defend her terrible treatment of you. You not going to the wedding after how they treated you is not unfair at all, and the fact that they're offended just reeks of narcissism. So sorry, OP. And Rit Post Rit says, not the arsehole, you sound like a wonderful stepmum. What is wrong with your family? Why do they accept other children but not your stepsons? I'm guessing at what their issue is. I'm just being nosy here, wondering if I'm right. And Geek Egg says, not the arsehole, had to reread. To hell with people and their step or half or in-law prejudices. I'm really tired of this straight genetics makes family. It used to be kind of true when Homo sapiens lived in tribes, but even then, an orphan or outcast could join and be family. Let's watch how we got to it takes a village to raise a child, but some genetic parents are just shitty. If you help raise a kid, you're a real parent. If you're a shitbag, we can just cast you out. Now, I turn this story to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? How would you deal with it if you were stepmom and Paul? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story is from Conscious Roof. Am I the arsehole for getting my girlfriend a bidet? Here we go. Hey everyone, I'll try and keep this short. I'm 28 male, my girlfriend is 24 female. My mum got me a bidet for Christmas and it changed my life. I love it. I honestly cannot say enough wonderful things about having a bidet. So for Valentine's Day, I got my girlfriend the typical flowers and chocolate, a necklace and a bidet. I honestly thought it was a good idea. I legitimately thought she loved it. My mum also got my sister one and she loves hers. I got my girlfriend a really good one, set it up for her and everything. She was fucking pissed when she saw I got it for her. She said I was insinuating that she was dirty and that I was passively aggressively telling her she needed to clean herself better. My girlfriend is a meticulously clean person. I've never had any complaints about how she grooms herself. She always smells great and is waxed and clean everywhere. I honestly just wanted to share the joy my bidet brought me with her. Was this a bad judgment call? Am I the arsehole here? Now, where do you start with this one? Oh dear. I'm not sure if I can actually call him an arsehole. It was kind of a thoughtful gift in a way, that he was thinking he got something that was really good and it's changed his life. His sister got one that's changed his life and he just wanted to get her something that may potentially change her life as well. So I think the thought is there, but also it's really thoughtless. The most romantic day of the year. And what are you going to give her? A bidet. And he did do all the whole chocolates and flowers thing at the same time. So, it's a very, very light, clean arsehole in this one, I think. Clean arseholes all around in that family. But the Major Fool says, the lightest you're the arsehole, but only because you didn't stop and think about it for a second. You got her an arse cleaner for what is considered the most romantic day of the year. And Dreaming Potato says, you're the arsehole for something like this. You should first find out if she wants it. Also, did you do the plumbing in her bathroom as a surprise? And OP replies saying, yes, I own the place, so it's not like she's going to get in trouble over it. And DSZ quotes that and says, wait, info please. You own the place. Didn't your mother already buy you a bidet for your place? So your new place has 2 bidets, one of which is exclusively your girlfriend's. Or you own your place where you live and use a bidet, and you also own a second place where your girlfriend lives and now uses a bidet, in which case you bought a bidet for your second home where your girlfriend currently happens to live. And OP replies saying, nah, I own the house she lives in, she rents it from me. I have my own place, so it's not like my second house. It's a property I rent out to her and multiple other people. There are 4 apartments in it. She rents one out. And there was a cheeky little update at the end, which said, update, my girlfriend has just texted me and says she used the bidet this morning and loves it. Still loving these judgments though. Keep them coming. And final update, thanks for all your comments guys, I get it, I was an arsehole, wrong day, I'm a dumbass, but hey, if I'm going to be an arsehole, at least I'm a clean one. My girlfriend and I are both loving reading all of these comments. She loves the gift and has since apologised for freaking out and making a snap judgment on her gift. Have a great night everyone. And I guess a wholesome ending, maybe? What do you guys think of this story? Imagine your partner, Valentine's Day, comes up to you and brings you the romantic gift of a B-Day. How would you react? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story comes from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for full on raging at my parents after they spent $1,300 of my money for my brother's gaming PC set? For a bit of context, around a year and a half ago, when I was 15, I came up with a plan to pay for my own university fees once I finished school. It's a little expensive, between the 4 to 5 figure range, and my family isn't the richest one, so yeah. So I wish to save my parents the trouble of paying and do everything myself. I plan to save up enough money until I can invest in some cheap land back in my hometown and hopefully earn lots. I told my parents this and they seemed pretty okay, at least to me, with my plan. So I began working part-time and worked my socks off. So in those 1.5 years, I saved up around 30,000 lira, which is like £3,000. Could have been a lot more, but COVID, without spending a single penny. Now here's where the problem began. My younger brother has his 13th birthday yesterday, and he's always wanted to have his own gaming PC set. My parents always told him they couldn't afford it, which makes him sad. One day, I forgot to bring my wallet with me when I was going to school, which has my bank card in it. When I came back, I saw a new gaming PC set right in the middle of the living room, half unboxed, and my brother crying and jumping around in ecstasy. I was happy for him since I thought they actually managed to buy it themselves, until I found out shortly after that almost half my saved up money was gone. Yes, we all know each other's bank card passwords. I was fuming and lost my shit at my parents, demanding why the fuck did you spend my money I worked hard for? My parents apologised but noted that they couldn't just tell their son that they couldn't afford his dream set when there was money available. I screamed at them and said that they stole £1,400 right under my nose without even considering asking me, and that they both owe me big time. My mum snapped back at me saying that I'm still a child belonging to them and that money should be the last thing on my mind at the moment. It was a back and forth argument, and I admit I used some colourful language there before my mum went on a power trip and yelled at me to remember who I'm talking back to. I just stomped off in anger. Some of you Redditors may think that £1,300 isn't a lot in the real world, but I've worked so hard after school and even on weekends to get this much, and for it to be half gone in an instant is a heartbreak for me. But I think I regret some of the things I've said to them, especially when they were all trying to do was to make my brother happy. Am I the arsehole? Yeah, you say they're trying to make your brother happy, but at the cost of making you unhappy. What fucking kind of logic is that? And what your parents were saying, there was money available. No, there wasn't money available because it's your money. It's not their money. That's not just money available. They literally stole from you, committed a crime against you by stealing your money. Get your card details changed. Don't give your parents the password again. You're 100% not the arsehole in this situation. But the Scarf Nerd says, not the arsehole, call your bank and report the money as stolen. And Bonnie Blue says, not the arsehole, your parents committed a crime. You should tell them either they return it or they're going to get charged with a crime. That's such bullshit. I'm fuming just reading this. Change your bank card too. If they're willing to do this, it wouldn't surprise me if they wrote down that information. And Al Attack says, not the arsehole, it's paid on your card, so if I were you, I'd just return it when they're all out. Also change your password. If they get angry at you, just say, I couldn't bear to see my college fund depleted when there is a gaming computer to return right there. Think how many hours you've worked for that. It's worth some hardship to get back. Plus you'll be leaving soon as well, so the fallout is only temporary. And I Love Cat says, not the arsehole, I would give them a choice of paying you back within 48 hours, returning the gaming system, or you will inform the police. Then file a police report. The police will be able to get the footage of them taking out your money, and if you tell them that it was not authorized, they will be in a lot of trouble. I would also change your PIN. Now, I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation, and how would you deal with it? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story is from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for throwing my husband's Xbox out of the house after what he did? Me, female 39, and my husband, male 41, have a 9-year-old who recently became wheelchair bound. It's been difficult and we're doing our best to adapt to the situation, but me and my husband take turns in caring for our son. We wanted to hire a carer, but they're expensive and our financial issues haven't been worked out yet. I was glad when my husband said he arranged to stay at home with our son while I go to work, and then I do the same when he's working. He was also able to get another position at the company where he's required to work fewer hours and be home early. We've had many discussions and our schedule keeps changing, but each of us are aware of our responsibilities. It's not easy, but we do all we can. My husband is a gamer. He can't stay without playing at least 3 times a week, and I don't mind it, seeing it as his way to cool off and get some time away from stress. Although I tell him to play when I'm home. Yesterday, he was at home the entire morning. I had to work till 3 PM. I made food and put it in the fridge, gave my son his tablet and told my husband to do what he normally does to take care of our son while I'm gone. He said okay. At 2 PM, I got a text from my son telling me he needed me because his dad was in his room playing Xbox and only made him breakfast. I couldn't wait till 3 PM. I went home early. I got into an argument with my husband after my son told me he wet himself and his dad didn't take care of it. I yelled at him after I saw that he was in the middle of playing a game on his Xbox. My husband said I shouldn't yell and that he was going to take care of it, but I'm just looking for an excuse to lash out. I couldn't believe he only fed him breakfast and that's it. I unplugged the Xbox and got it out of the house. My husband threw a hissy fit, saying I overreacted massively and that he's too stressed out and exhausted. He admitted his mistake, but blamed me for doing this to his Xbox. I took my son and went over to my sister's house. He spoke to my sister later and told her it was a one-time thing and I was being too harsh and that he's a human who forgets too. I stopped responding to him and my sister thinks it was no big deal. Note that I don't mind him playing his Xbox. He normally plays when I'm home, but this time he decided to play when it's only him in the house. It's his first time doing it, so I know I should have just talked to him about it. Nah. There's no excuse for this bullshit. He may be stressed out, but responsibilities, man. Many of us are gamers. I'm a gamer myself, but I know my responsibilities take priority over everything in my life. And I use my father in this example. My responsibilities over my father take priority over my gaming, over any of my hobbies at this point in my life. And it's the same in this situation. You have a disabled son who only had breakfast that day, sat in his own urine, and the husband's still trying to make excuses for himself. Bullshit. Absolutely, that guy's the arsehole. You're not the arsehole OP in this situation at all. You need to protect your son in this situation, and fair play to you for doing so. But let's check out some of the comments to see what they say. With these dragonfly saying, not the arsehole, you have a disabled child. Unfortunately, the time for chilling and playing Xbox is gone. How dare your husband allow your son to sit in his own urine because he was playing games? As for your sister excusing him and saying it's a one-time thing is almost as bad in my opinion. It's this attitude that enables people to get away with being a shitty person. Until your husband can admit how shitty this must have been for your son and admit he was completely in the wrong, I would not want him looking after him. Him taking control and getting rid of the Xbox himself might be a start. And ZSH Guru says, I'm a gamer. There's a big difference in being a gamer versus failing to perform duties to house and children. I've done some crazy shit while because of gaming, but I've never failed to mop the floors, cut the grass, feed the cats, etc. Your husband might have an addiction or other type of mental problem that needs attention. Not the arsehole. And Laughable Salad replies to this saying, I'm a massive gamer who unhealthily uses it as escapism to remove myself from daily life, and I've let responsibilities slide because of that. Things like doing dishes or the laundry, even then I'm like, oh shit, sorry girlfriend, I should do better, and make attempts. But having a fucking life on the line because you can't detach yourself from a game, even I think that's divorceable. And MJ Cornet says, let's be clear on what happened here. Neglecting your child by making them sit in their own urine, not giving them enough food, leaving them unprotected is abuse. Your husband abused your son and you reacted in a mild way by throwing out the Xbox. The man should have been thrown out with it. This man prioritized a game over another human he created. I can't imagine how distraught your son is to have his life robbed of him at such a young age, and then to have his father be so flippant about his care. Disgusting. I'm proud of you for taking the step and removing your husband's true priority, but you need to do some real thinking about whether you can trust him to take care of your son in the future. If it wasn't clear, not the arsehole, not the arsehole, not the arsehole. And CK Bruin fan says, not the arsehole, and quotes, he admitted his mistake but blamed me for doing this to his Xbox, and then says, I enjoy gaming too, but your husband is now a father, and the needs of the child go before the need to play video games. Also, the fact your son wet himself and the father didn't help him is disgusting. And 12we says, not the arsehole, your husband is acting so responsible. He has a disabled child, he ignores to play video games. Neglect is abuse. He needs to get his shit together or he goes back to work to earn a living, since the stay-at-home dad thing isn't working out. Now, I turn this one to you guys. If you was OP and you came home to this situation, how would you feel? Let me know in the comments below. Now, once again, guys, thank you for being here today. I hope you did enjoy today's stories. And if you did, you know what to do, as I can't express how much it helps by clicking that like button, that subscribe button, and maybe that notification bell too. And don't forget to select that and turn it to always if you want to be notified every time, of course, because we do post usually multiple videos per day. And YouTube sometimes decide not to notify you on every single one for some reason. And if you want to support the channel, you absolutely can, but always never any pressure to do so. You can do so by clicking that join button down below and joining up through YouTube, or clicking the link in the description for Patreon and heading on over there. Super helpful at this time, as it has now been 100% confirmed. The 1st of March is my first part-time day on YouTube. Very excited. Actually, it's a part-time week because I'm doing Monday to Wednesday in my real work, then Thursday and Friday is purely dedicated to YouTube stuff. So yeah, it's going to be really good. Got some plans ahead. I might be big. This is a big might be doing some live streams, reading stories live for you guys, and then we can interact and all that kind of thing. And I'm really hyped about that. So yeah. Anyway, we shall see. Exciting stuff. And thanks for being... I've totally lost track of what I was doing. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Much love, guys.